Next on Up with KREM, a new push to bring back controversial flock cameras in Washington state, why they were shut down, what changes lawmakers are proposing, and how it could impact investigations into serious crimes. Next.
It took all week to get here, but the weather is finally warm for this weekend as we track how much longer we'll see temperatures like this into February.
From nothing to this, where can we go?
And a Spokane Valley arcade is celebrating 10 years in the inland Northwest this weekend. Coming up, how it's grown over the years.
Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning, and thank you for starting your day here with us on Up with KREM. I'm Brandon T. Jones, and over in the Weather Center, we've got meteorologist Thomas Patrick. He's standing by doing the good work, keeping us up to date with all of our latest weather conditions. Thomas, how you feeling and what can we expect?
Yeah, Brandon, feeling good. Should be a pretty easy going weekend here now that things have finally gotten a bit warmer outside. I'm going to admit I have worn the shorts outside recently. Not for like long, but long enough because our temperatures finally got into the 40s. 40s it will stay today and tomorrow and likely next week. And if not 40s, might even be in the 50s. I mean, Spire high temperatures today on the Palouse, 51 in Pullman, 55 in Lewiston, and 52 in Ritzville today. Plenty of warm locations. A little bit cooler to the north, where it'll just be 42 in Colville and 40 in Republic, a couple of our cooler spots. Looks like both days this weekend will be pretty similar. If anything, we're just dealing with a little bit of fog this morning thanks to the recent rain on Friday. And on Sunday, we do have a chance for showers, but it's a 10 to 20% chance at best. So honestly, this weekend is looking more dry than not, and these temperatures are pretty mild for the season.
Well, a proposed state Senate bill will reactivate flock cameras across Washington state. Many were shut down over fears of immigration enforcement. University of Washington researchers found federal immigration agents were accessing local flock camera data, potentially in violation of the state law. Senate Bill 6002 aims to recalibrate the cameras to only be used to investigate felonies or missing people, not determine someone's immigration status. Data could only be kept for 21 days, and a license plate must be entered, not just the make and model of a suspect car.
This is a product that has helped us solve crimes. And what we have to figure out is, do we want to be just really good at documenting crimes, or do we want to actually solve and fight crime?
The bill is currently awaiting a date for a full vote by the state Senate. Meanwhile, Washington lawmakers are moving closer to limiting where federal immigration agents can operate, including inside daycares and hospitals. Our Seattle sister station breaks down what a new bill would do.
The push to move the SAFE Act forward comes as fear and confusion around immigration enforcement has started to show up in Washington schools.
We've had reports in this state of ICE activity near a school in Spokane, near a daycare in Issaquah, and we absolutely do not want that to go further.
Those concerns echo what played out in Seattle last week.
Very much that gets me terrified.
Several campuses sheltered in place after unconfirmed reports of ICE activity near schools.
If there had been ICE here, we would have been kind of keeping alert.
There's been no confirmation ICE was near those schools, but lawmakers say the fear itself is part of the problem and what's driving this new bill. The Secure Accountable Federal Enforcement Act, or SAFE, would require ICE to get a signed warrant from a federal judge before entering non-public spaces like classrooms, hospitals, and daycares.
Those are well-established constitutional principles rooted in the Fourth Amendment, and I'm very confident this will upstand a constitutional challenge.
The bill's sponsor, Democratic Senator Drew Hansen, says it would strengthen existing protections in the Keep Washington Working Act.
One, it puts them in state law, so they can't be changed by a new attorney general. You'd have to have a vote of the legislature and a signature of the governor to change them. And two, we expand the scope of these protections to places like daycares and private hospitals and healthcare facilities and nursing homes that weren't already covered by Keep Washington Working.
Representative Jim Walsh, the state Republican Party chair, criticized the bill, saying, quote, "There have been several false alarms that ICE agents were detaining people at Puget Sound area schools. The reason these false stories keep circulating is that they exploit people's fears. SB 5906 is based on that same fear and exploitation. In Olympia, Bridget Chavez, King 5 News.
Here in Spokane, Spokane Public Schools is addressing the concerns about immigration enforcement in the community. Just a few weeks ago, Customs and Border Patrol agents detained a 10-year-old Logan Elementary School student. SBS Superintendent Dr. Adam Swinyard said the district will keep working to, quote, limit the impact of immigration enforcement on students and families. More than ever, we must unite as a community to see each other as people first. Dr. Swinyard's full statement is on our website, KREM.com. Alrighty, folks, if you're not sure what to do with your day off, besides, of course, watch us here on Up with KREM, let's go ahead and take a look at your weekend. What's up? First up, two fun things are happening at the Numerica Skate Ribbon today. The first is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Ice skating coaches will be there to give everyone tips on their skating. And then from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., the Spokane Indians mascots will be hanging out with everyone on the ice. And next up, we've got Winterfest Beer Festival. That's going to be taking place today in Post Falls. It's at the Post Falls American Legion from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is the first beer festival they've done, and they say you'll be able to sample a bunch of different craft beers. And there's another indoor plant swap today. This time it's at the Otis Orchards Library from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And there are 2 more days of the Spokane Boat Show. This is the 71st Spokane Boat Show, and they'll have dealers from all over the inland Northwest. We'll have a behind-the-scenes look at the boat show on Up with KREM tomorrow morning. And finally, the Spokane Children's Theater is doing a few showings of Charlotte's Web this weekend. There are 2 showings today. And the Spokane Valley Arcade Jedi Alliance celebrated its 10-year anniversary this week. Last year, they were voted the #2 arcade in the entire nation by Newsweek. Owner Tyler Arnold spoke to KREM 2 about the arcade's growth in the last decade.
I've not stopped working on the project for one day. You know, it's nonstop work. I've done my best to make it grow constantly, always wanting to make it better and better. We're still in that frame of mind. When we opened, we didn't know if people would care about this stuff the same way that we do, and it turns out that, yeah, they care as much as we do. We've made it from nothing to this. Where can we go? And if I look at the last 10 years, I think to myself, no Jedi Alliance, no Garland Theater for me. So the ways that the Alliance has propelled my life by never stopping and never giving up is I'll never stop.
All right, the celebration is going on all weekend. Today, the arcade is offering a free Garland Theater ticket with entry, and tomorrow they'll have a free snack table. All righty, still ahead, I sit down with the brand new associate head coach of the Spokane Velocity. Coming up after the break, you'll get to hear from Neil Halavity. And later, do you think you could follow this choreography right here? Well, the Crimson Girls are going to be here in studio teaching KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez how to dance just like them. Alrighty, folks, we are honored. We've got the privilege today to welcome in the brand new associate head coach of the Spokane Velocity, Neil Halavity. He's in the building here with us, right in the KREM 2 studio, the streaming studio. First and foremost, Neil, we just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you being here. How are you feeling?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
I think we got the ultimate growth opportunity, right? With the World Cup coming up.
It's a time that, as a soccer fan, I get so excited about.
This new year, a new location, just new everything. Is there anything that you're like, hey, as I'm starting this new journey here in Spokane, I really want to make sure I do X, Y, and Z?
Coming into an environment of very good people who are very disciplined and do very good work. And I'm so excited to be a part of that staff under Lee and work with a large group of returning players, a good crop of people and players we're bringing in to hopefully meet our goals and get across the line and win the final this year. So yeah, I would say personal goal is I'd like to win it all this year. It's something I haven't achieved in this league, and I know that this club has been there twice. So if there's anything that I can say right now off the top of my head, being brutally honest, like I want to lift that trophy at the end of the year, and ideally in Spokane.
Folks. And don't forget, you can watch the rest of our sit-down interview with Coach Neil Halavity right here on KREM 2+.
And our weather pattern is looking plenty mild for this weekend, and it only goes up from here. So coming up, we'll give you that long-term outlook at which days we could reasonably hit 50 degrees.
Attention all foodies. Menus for this year's Inlander Restaurant Week go live next week. And if you've ever wanted to try out a new restaurant or bar here in town, it's the chance you get right now. So you can do that, and it's also going to be at a reasonably price. KREM 2's Mark Hanrahan got a sneak peek at some of the businesses taking part this year and has more on what to expect.
Well, I think the thing I'm most excited about is it's by far our most diverse assortment of restaurants ever.
10 days, 140 restaurants, and countless food and drink options. The Inlanders Restaurant Week is quickly approaching, and we got a behind-the-scenes look at some of the dishes being offered this year. Now in its 14th year, event director Tamara McGregor says it's their biggest restaurant week ever, with options stretching from Spokane to Coeur d'Alene.
I guarantee there's something for everyone, whether you're gluten-free or vegan, or whether you really love falafel or sushi. There are more choices than ever before.
Among those taking part, Cellar and Scholar, a new wine bar on Sprague and Sullivan. Owner Justice Recor says this will be their first restaurant week.
I feel really good about it. I'm honestly super excited. I think it'll shed some light on the fact that we do have a really wonderful food menu in addition to a wine menu.
She says they'll be targeting the lunch crowd, offering an elevated grilled cheese on homemade focaccia with a tomato bisque soup and dessert. If you're curious about prices, restaurants are offering 3-course meals that range from $25 to $35 to $45. And if drinks are more your speed, plenty of local bars are taking part too, including the Purgatory Whiskey Bar in downtown Spokane.
We've done it for the last 3 years, 4 years, yeah.
General Manager Libby McGregor tells us the event brings new customers in and gives their staff a chance to try new things. Like this Buffalo Trace Espresso Martini.
And why keep coming back?
It gets us a lot of business, and it's good featuring local bars, and we like that, and it's fun to do.
This year, each participating restaurant will also have to offer a drink from a local brewery, cidery, winery, or distillery. Organizers say it's all about supporting local businesses during a time of year that's traditionally slower for restaurants. It's a chance to explore new foods and new flavors, so mark your calendars. Restaurant Week runs from February 26th through March 7th.
I think what restaurants love is it's a chance to meet new diners. I mean, how many of us have the same restaurants we always go to? It's like these 6 restaurants. And sometimes we just need that little push to drive to Hilliard or Post Falls or Coeur d'Alene, and Restaurant Week is kind of that nudge to be trying something new.
Restaurant Week menus go live online on February 5th, and they'll hit newsstands across Spokane the week of Restaurant Week. Organizers say they have a plan and you got to make reservations, so go ahead and book early.
Well, it took all week to get to some slightly warmer weather, but here's where we will land for this entire weekend. Highs got well into the 40s yesterday, stay in the 40s today, stay in the 40s if not 50s next week. So your weather headlines, all about the warmth here. Yeah, we might get a little blip of some rain here or there, but the main weather story is in this warmth. Like unusual for late January and early February, probably just shy of record territory, but with 50s returning to the forecast, that's fairly significant for the region. Looking at temperatures today, the 50s will be Ritzville, Pullman, Pomeroy, Lewiston, as warm as 57 in Dayton this afternoon. 57 for the final day of January, that's shorts and t-shirt weather, let's face it, around here. Otherwise, mostly in the mid 40s most everywhere else. Got a big game game at the Kennel tonight. It will be cloudy all day long. That tip off a bit after sunset. So for those heading to the game, temperatures still in the 40s after this mild one, and it'll just barely be in the 30s. Hopefully celebrating a massive GU win at the Kennel tonight. Looking at the whole weekend here, a bit of morning fog possible this morning. That would be a result of yesterday's rainfall. Tomorrow, there's a small chance of showers. It looks like North Idaho would have the slightly better chance for rain versus Spokane and Eastern Washington, so it may very well split basically across state lines in this case. But if those showers don't even materialize, it'll be a fine Sunday for us. I think the weather is just going to be warm all throughout the West Coast here. It's almost a very clear west-east split between the warmth and the cold weather. Look at even the Pacific Northwest, 45 in Spokane, 51 in Portland, all plenty mild for that first day of February. But as I slide out of the way, we are way warmer than most everywhere out east. Even Atlanta, we're 12 degrees warmer than them. We might even be as warm as Tampa on Sunday, who, by the way, could actually get a little bit of light snow tonight. No joke there. The Arctic weather going all the way down towards the southeast in this case. As we look at this upcoming week's weather, way warmer than average. I'm thinking 50s by Wednesday and beyond. And for now, I don't have much in the way of rain chances other than maybe a little bit for North Idaho come tomorrow. Otherwise, drier than average for sure.
Coming up next, the Crimson girls are back from a big competition and they're here to tell us all about it. Stay with us to hear about their experience and learn some new dance moves.
We have some very special guests with us. We have the Crimson Girls here, or a couple from the Crimson Girls. So you guys are WSU's dance team, correct?
Yes.
And you just competed in UDA.
Yes.
What is UDA and how did you guys do?
UDA stands for Universal Dance Association, and every year there's a UDA College Nationals that takes place in Orlando, Florida. So we attend that, and there's 3 divisions, and we compete in the D1A division.
Cool.
In jazz and hip hop.
And how did you do?
Really good.
Yeah.
We got 8th place for both categories.
That's amazing. Yeah. How much prep and time went into doing all of that?
So we learned our routines probably like September, October. Since then we've just been kind of like tweaking them and stuff. Really, we start really getting into it in December. We usually like have lift, and then we watch film, and then we have all day practice.
Cool.
It's super fun, but it's very, very time consuming.
And how many dances are you learning?
We learned 2 dances this year. We did hip hop in D1A and then jazz in D1A with 2 amazing choreographers.
Yeah. How intense are these routines? Like, how long do they last?
The time limit is 2 minutes. Both of our routines were roughly about 2 minutes.
Okay. And I'm assuming like this is the top
They're
tier level.
Yeah,
Whole time.
Yeah. Once you start, you don't stop.
So we've been very excited about this interview because, oh wow, is this you guys? That was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, this is making me more nervous because our producers have been saying you guys need to actually teach me a little bit of dance.
Yes.
So do we want to try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna jump up over here to the wall, and then you guys are going to. Let me tell you, like 2 left feet, I have a horrible memory.
That's
so
okay.
I don't know what I'm
You're
doing.
gonna do great.
Okay, I'm gonna come stand
Which
on this
way?
side, way over here.
Okay,
And then
perfect.
you guys can tell me what to do.
Perfect. So your arms are gonna go out like this, and my leg just comes up a little bit on a 1, 2, 3. And then
Already gone.
You got it.
Okay, what am I doing?
1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna snap down on count 4. And then I'm gonna hold for 4 counts. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then my body comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fun part. We get to do 2 walks. You get to go walk, and then we go
dip,
big hips, and then we go walk, and then you have big hips, and then this is the best part. Your hand goes farewell, my.
There's no way. That was really fun.
That's okay.
Wait, that was from your jazz, right?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm loving about this is how like dramatic every one of your movements is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're moving so much. Okay. As you guys are learning these, who's actually choreographing them?
This one was by our choreographer, Taylor. She's actually from Washington, from the PNW area. And then we also have some consultants, which were like kind of helping us like just improve the dance upon the season.
Just more
too.
eyes on the routine.
Yeah.
And this is like difficult. I'm assuming you're tired after. Do you guys like, how do you prep for this? Like working out, making sure you're like physically ready for this?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of Well, this year especially we started lifting, and I really think that helped us like just build the strength, build stamina. But overall, I think it's just like repetition, just doing it, and every time you just make it better. And just finish it out till the end.
And then how does it feel for you guys as Cougs, kind of like leaving a legacy like this?
I think it's super special. Being on the team is just such like, you just feel so much pride, like Coug pride. The spirit is so high. All of our families go. Right before we're going on stage, they do fight song, and they're doing like a Go Cougs chant, and then we come back. Everyone's just like, oh my gosh, I saw your dance on TikTok. Like, it was so great, and it just feels so special doing it with people you love.
No, that's so sweet. Well, these girls are seniors, so congratulations on your last season. Obviously, the Crimson girls will continue doing amazing things.
Yes,
so thank you guys for being here.
Of course, thank you.
The one big beautiful bill means taxes look a little different this year. The changes to know before you file. Next on Up with KREM, tax season is officially underway and there are several big changes to know about. We'll help you get ready to file. Plus, we talked to a local actor who was in Train Dreams, what it means for him to be in an Oscar-nominated film. And later, the big game is almost here. How Crews, Travelers, and the Seahawks are getting ready.
Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning, and thank you for starting your morning here with us on Up with KREM. I'm Brandon T. Jones, and over in the Weather Center, we've got meteorologist Thomas Patrick keeping us up to date with all of the latest weather conditions. Thomas, it seems like it's been in a little bit of a warming trend.
Yeah, a little bit, and it's just been little by little as we went from 30 degrees last Monday, and that was a cold day where we started out in the teens for low temperatures. But by Friday, it finally felt like it turned over into a much warmer environment. Some lows were only in the 40s that day. Today, about the same. We could definitely see our high temperatures, not only mid 40s, but even low 50s for the inland Northwest. This is about where we're going to stabilize. I think our warming trend is over, but we just stay warm into early February, which of course starts tomorrow. But it's the entire western half of the U.S. is looking very much mild and warmer than average. So coming up, we'll have the latest on how many days we're forecasting in the 50s here locally.
Well, we are almost a full week into tax season, and the Treasury Department says every household on average should get about $1,000 more in their refunds this year. That's because many filers did not adjust their withholding when recent income tax breaks began. When President Trump's spending bill became law back in July, it created a handful of new tax provisions and made some changes to others. So let's go ahead and take a look and navigate the updates to an already complex U.S. tax code. So basically, there are two main reasons our refunds could be higher. One, Congress added some new tax breaks. And two, even though our tax liabilities went down, most of us didn't change how much we're paying in. When filing taxes, most of us choose the standard deduction. That went up by $750 for single people and $1,500 for married couples. But this definitely won't make a difference for everyone.
Remember, you got to first crest that hurdle of the standard deduction of $31,500 if you're married filing joint. So if you never can get to your itemized deductions, the state and local taxes don't matter anyway because it's an itemized deduction.
For qualifying children, the child tax credit is $200 more this year. Plus, there's now the so-called Trump accounts for kids born after 2024. The easiest way to get the $1,000 account is to file Form 4547 with your taxes this year. Another change, there is no tax on tips now, but there are some caveats.
No tax on tips is capped at $25,000 per return. So if you have a married filing joint couple, they only get $25,000. It's not $25,000 per person.
If that all sounds super confusing, the Spokane County Library District says they can help with filing your taxes. Their free tax aid service will be available from February 2nd until April 13th, but only at certain Spokane County Library District libraries. You can find that full schedule of dates and locations at the link at the bottom of your screen. Turning our attention now to a recap of our top stories on KREM.com this week. First up, an update from STA. It's been almost 2 weeks since a double-decker bus didn't clear a downtown viaduct. This week, STA officials shared their plan. They confirmed the bus driver involved was trained and approved to drive the double-decker bus. They're also investigating if the bus's navigation system had problems. For now, double-decker buses are off the streets. No timeline yet for when they'll be back on the road. Before they come back, STA will add new safety steps. Drivers will get extra training on bus height and routes. Drivers will use their knowledge of routes instead of relying on navigation system. Buses will also come to a complete stop before going under bridges and check in with officials when they come into the downtown core. Spokane this summer, the festival is called Blessing in Disguise. Macklemore and AJR are headlining, and there will be 18 other artists across 4 different stages at one Spokane stadium. Tickets just went on sale yesterday. Crews are removing over 50 trees in Liberty Lake. The city says the trees are dying and are in the way of planned road improvements. Some Liberty Lake residents say the removal was a shock and it was tough to watch the trees go.
We just didn't know it was going to happen so quickly. They put up a reader board and 2 days later they started cutting down trees. But we're looking at, it's not going to be anywhere like it was for probably 5 to 10 years.
The city does plan to eventually replant the trees. Well, by now you've probably heard about Train Dreams, the Oscar-nominated film made right here in northeastern Washington. We talked with a local man who starred in the movie. Here's his story.
The beauty and rich history of Eastern Washington now memorialized on the silver screen with multiple Academy Award nominations.
It was hard work. It was, sometimes I questioned, why did I do this?
Local actor Dr. Gotti Nicario can now say he's part of an Oscar-nominated project, Train Dreams. Nevertheless, despite the long hours in Northeast Washington, he says this was almost a missed opportunity.
I said no to it the first time.
Nicario says the team was looking for more Asian representation for the film. He initially said no due to schedule conflicts, but changed his answer to yes when production asked again just days before filming.
It was a tiny role, but hey, I had a really good experience. And in theater, we're always trained that there's no such thing as small role.
The Spokane Historical website says Asian immigrants were the foundation for railroad construction throughout the inland Northwest and the development of Spokane itself. Nicario says he spent 3 days filming in locations like Medellin Falls and Colville. Even though he was an extra throughout the movie, Nicario says watching the final product in theaters was like nothing he's ever experienced before.
It felt like, wow, I'm in a film.
Train Dreams joins other movies like Sinners and Frankenstein for Best Picture at this year's Oscars. Nicario says even if the movie doesn't win, the nomination alone is huge for Eastern Washington.
Be proud that a film is in the Oscars nomination and it's in this region, and you can see a lot of local Spokane in this region that are in the film.
You can watch Train Dreams on Netflix. The 2026 Oscars are set for March 15th. Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
And next week, we'll be talking with some of the filmmakers on the show. You can watch that on Up with KREM next Saturday. Well, coming up, find out the story behind this viral video of a son surprising his dad with Seahawks tickets. And later, a 3-year-old's hockey dreams are realized. How the Seattle Kraken and Make-A-Wish got him on the ice. We are just 8 days away from Super Bowl 60, and crews are working hard to get Levi Stadium ready for the big game. This video of the grounds crew making sure the grass is good and ready to go. This upcoming week is when things get a bit crazy as they rehearse for pre-game, post-game, and even halftime. Meantime, tickets are selling fast. Seahawks and Patriots fans are planning their trips. The Super Bowl, of course, it's extremely expensive, but travel experts say travel and accommodations are a bit cheaper compared to last year in New Orleans. Are paying an average of more than $300 for flights to the Bay Area. People in Seattle and Boston are booking the most flights. Prices for hotels are also more expensive. Some places in downtown San Francisco are $2,300 for Super Bowl weekend. And as the Super Bowl approaches, there is a video going viral on social media right now of a son surprising his father with tickets to the NFC Championship. The video has gained more than 13 million views on social, and it's getting the attention of fans across the league. Madison Wade spoke with the son, who shares the deeper meaning behind the surprise.
On his way to Soto, this father from Shelton had no idea what was coming his way.
My parents have worked so hard their entire life, and I just wanted to, try to give them cool experiences that, I feel like they've missed out on.
Irvin Garcia, a first-generation medical student at UCLA, decided to surprise his father with tickets to the Seahawks NFC Championship game.
I'm just going to go for it. I know it might be expensive and all that, but I'll put that on future Dr. Garcia's tab. And I just went for it.
And walking near the stadium, that's when it finally hit him.
I just pointed the camera at him, and we were like right outside of Lumen Field, and he just kind of took it in, and it was like, oh, we're here. We're really going to this game.
His father, overcome with emotion, takes it all in. Just months ago, walking into Lumen Field wouldn't have been possible for him. He just recovered from a serious stroke.
Any type of stroke is just one of the, scariest things, red flags, or just like a can't miss diagnosis.
Irvin, studying to become a doctor, immediately came to his father's side to help. And as his father regained his strength, they leaned on each other and on football.
Part of our therapy was actually throwing a football around, just because that was something that we sort of bonded on.
That bond continued to the NFC Championship game. Seeing the Seahawks win and go to the Super Bowl felt like their own Super Bowl in a way.
But there's certain moments, in our life that I feel like you just have to experience it, and value our families and our loved ones, because that's something that's, it's not going to be there forever. Seeing how quickly life can change, has really made me cherish life a lot more. So,
coming up, a big deadline is this weekend. We'll tell you what to expect when you go through TSA from now on. Well, this morning, one last reminder, starting tomorrow, if you try flying without a real ID, you'll face a new option at TSA checkpoints. You can still fly, but it'll come at a cost. TSA's new program is called Confirm ID. It allows travelers to verify their identity through an alternate process for a $45 fee. TSA says the program is designed to keep passengers moving while reinforcing the importance of upgrading to a real ID.
For us, ID verification is critical, and we want to make sure that the system is never compromised from a security and safety standpoint, but we also want to make sure that the customers have a seamless experience.
The agency is urging travelers to check their IDs now to avoid delays and extra costs at the airport. Again, this option starts tomorrow, February 1st.
Well, it took all week to get to some slightly warmer weather, but here's where we will land for this entire weekend. Highs got well into the 40s yesterday, stay in the 40s today, stay in the 40s if not 50s next week. So your weather headlines, all about the warmth here. Yeah, we might get a little blip of some rain here or there, but the main weather story is in this warmth. Like unusual for late January and early February, probably just shy of record territory, but with 50s returning to the forecast, that's fairly significant for the region. Looking at temperatures today, the 50s will be Ritzville, Pullman, Pomeroy, Lewiston, as warm as 57 in Dayton this afternoon. 57 for the final day of January, that's shorts and t-shirt weather, let's face it, around here. Otherwise, mostly in the mid-40s, most everywhere else. Got a big game at the Kennel tonight. It will be cloudy all day long. That tip off a bit after sunset. So for those heading to the game, temperatures still in the 40s after this mild one, and it'll just barely be in the 30s, hopefully celebrating a massive GU win at the Kennel tonight. Looking at the whole weekend here, a bit of morning fog possible this morning. That would be a result of yesterday's rainfall. Tomorrow, there's a small chance of showers. It looks like North Idaho would have the slightly better chance for rain versus Spokane and Eastern Washington, so it may very well split basically across state lines in this case. But if those showers don't even materialize, it'll be a fine Sunday for us. I think the weather is just going to be warm all throughout the West Coast here. It's almost a very clear west-east split between the warmth and the cold weather. Look at even the Pacific Northwest, 45 in Spokane, 51 in Portland, all plenty mild for that first day of February. But as I slide out of the way, we are way warmer than most everywhere out east. Even Atlanta, we're 12 degrees warmer than them. We might even be as warm as Tampa on Sunday, who, by the way, could actually get a little bit of light snow tonight. No joke there. The Arctic weather going all the way down towards the southeast in this case. As we look at this upcoming week's weather, way warmer than average. I'm thinking 50s by Wednesday and beyond. And for now, I don't have much in the way of rain chances other than maybe a little bit for North Idaho come tomorrow. Otherwise, drier than average for sure.
Well, up next, the Kraken making a young boy's dream come true. We'll watch his day on the ice. Alrighty, Thomas, we've got a special story today about a special young man getting a special surprise. So we just got to go ahead, try to get right into it because I think you're going to be pretty happy about this story yourself.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you live in Alaska, you got to travel somewhere that has an NHL team.
Yeah.
But that's where Caleb comes in, who came to Seattle, and we hear his story.
We had such a full 3 days in Seattle, didn't we? It was busy.
Caleb Seidel has leukemia. That doesn't define him. Caleb Seidel is a huge Seattle Kraken fan. This past weekend, that did. Caleb and his family traveled to Seattle with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, letting him live out his dream of being on a hockey team. With so many pro players to meet, skills to practice, and gifts to receive.
We got a Zamboni and some pillows and some jerseys and flags and tentacles and a hockey ball.
It's been days since the game, and he's still buzzing.
Just seeing how much more energy he has this last week. He's come a long way in treatment. We're over halfway done, and it's nice to see that he's starting to bounce back to his normal self.
Other highlights, the Seattle climate.
It was summer there.
It was summer there. Was there any snow?
The accommodations.
There was a big swimming pool, and we swam in it.
And of course, a wish fully granted.
The thing that stands out to me the most is I don't think I fully understood the nature of Caleb's wish. I knew he wanted to be in a hockey environment, watch hockey, play hockey, but his original wish was to be a hockey team. And especially on the day when we went to the practice facility, the things that brought him the most joy were just experiencing what it is like to be on a hockey team and to be a player and just be in that environment. So just kind of to see his dream come to life and really understand it.
Wow, they hooked him up with some sweet threads there too, the custom jersey. But how about a special moment, especially to hear the emotions of the kid returning to normal. Like 3-year-olds are plenty energetic, and that's what you want them to be. You want to be there for them.
No, absolutely. That's the kind of stuff right there that makes me want to shed a grown man tear. That stuff gets me emotional, and so we're just so happy to be able to watch that story for Caleb and to know that he got a little bit of a dream come true right there. That's so cool.
And praying for all those extra months ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope that the Kraken gives him so much strength to beat this.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I mean, that was one heck of a story. So we appreciate that. And rooting Caleb on and the Kraken, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got that. Should be a fun weekend
here. That's right. It should be, and we'll be back here tomorrow morning as well, and then the day after that too. So stick with us. We've got more up with KREM tomorrow morning. We'll see you then.